Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef? I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BDO. It's your boy D Free. And it's the Roll with the Punches podcast. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey, man, what you think about that fight, man? Was I right or was I right?
Right as in what? What are you saying?
I said Jermell was scared to death. When I told you that, he was scared to death. That's what I'm talking about.
I think he just gave that man just too much respect. I think he gave him too much respect. He fought him like he admired him instead of fighting him like somebody he wanted to beat up.
I'll read this comment. Sister, my brother C Wood early on. What he say? Hold on one second. What's up, man? Our special guest.
What's
The
good,
Puerto
bro?
Rican fireman over there, man. What's up with you, brother? Brown Juice.
I'm cool. How you
Did
doing?
You see that fight, man?
I saw some highlights. I didn't watch the whole fight.
Hey, I was just telling Free, man.
Charlo got hit and went into survival mode.
Hey, I told Free, man, he was scared to death, man. I hope y'all seen that. He was scared to death, man.
I don't know if he was scared to death as much as he just wasn't willing to go through the fire. I think every fighter has to make a choice in a tough fight. And I just had this conversation with a young fighter. And excuse my expression, but there's something in boxing. A time comes in boxing where you just have to say F it. You get hit with something you don't like, and you just have to say F it. Look, I'm going to hit him. He's going to hit me. But I'm going to trust myself and go through whatever I had to go through to get this win. And Charlo made a business decision. I think he went into that fight knowing that he was in a win-win situation, and he was going to make more money than he ever made in his life. And that win, lose, or draw, he was going back to his titles at 154. So I think, he kind of said, I don't have to try here. All I have to do is come in here and take as little punishment as possible, leave here in one piece, go back down to 154 where I'm the man. Now, I look at that as twofold. Is it shameful in a way? Yes. But like I've said before, I know fighters that have been permanently damaged or even killed in the ring. And maybe if they'd have made a business decision when they were feeling things that they weren't comfortable with, they may still be here with us. So at some point, there's a bravado part of it. You want a guy to give his 110% because of the money he's making. But we don't know what he was feeling. how his body was reacting to what he was taking, and whether he felt like he would be putting himself in permanent peril by trying to engage or win the fight. So, I mean, it's two ways to look at it. Like I said, most people gonna say, "Oh, he was cowardly," but again, if some of the fighters that lost their life in the ring weren't quite as brave, they may still be here with us. So there's an old saying, "You live to fight another day." Evidently, he knows himself better than we know him. And he may have reached a point where he said, listen, this is more than I can handle, and I'm going to keep myself safe and go home to my family. Is it something to celebrate in boxing? No. But he has to have a life after boxing is over.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You know what's funny?
What's that?
I was talking to Keith Thurman today. I met him down at a convention today, and I was talking to him, and he said the exact same thing that you said. He was like, I think Charlo got hit with a shot, and he didn't want to go through the fire. He was in the mode of just surviving and making it 12 rounds, and he just didn't want to get knocked out. And
yeah.
I at first I didn't see it like that, but then I went back and watched the fight, and he did get hit with a couple of shots because it was time. And before he got hit with the shot, I saw Charlo using his jab and trying to throw counters. But after he got hit with a shot, he didn't really use his jab too much more. He pretty much was just staying out of the way. And whenever he knew that Canelo wasn't throwing anything, that's when you seen Charlo throw one big shot, and then he'll either grab or he'll try to move out the way. So I mean, and Keith also said he think it was more so Canelo went up there. I mean, Charlo went up there, and if he beat Canelo, he would have been the man. But even if he didn't beat him, he got a big payday, and he's still the champion at 54.
That's why I said it was a win-win.
Yeah.
Crown, you my brother, man. I love you. But that was an awful take, bro. That was awful take. And I'm going to tell you why that was an awful take. Because as the fans, I don't want to hear that, bro. He went in there and stole some money. You can't talk all this boss stuff. That's what I was telling my brother Free. I said, any other fight, he talking like a stone cold nigga. But the moment he get in there with a real fighter, the living legend Canelo Alvarez, he's quiet, he's calm. At the end of the day, if they was in jail, man, it seemed like Charlo would have been cooking Canelo breakfast, man. I don't know
what he was doing. They weren't in jail. They were in a professional boxing match. And regardless of how much people want to laugh at him, shame him, or whatever else, he went 12 rounds with one of the baddest men in the world. And we can't take that away from him. He did go 12 rounds with one of the baddest men in the world. We can't forget that he did move up 2 weight classes. Yes, that was of his free will, but there are weight classes in boxing for a reason. And I think
Roberto do it. Did Roberto do it? Did Roberto do it, man?
Hold on. Let me finish. You cut me off. No, Roberto didn't do it that way. Roberto moved from 135 to 140 to 147. He systematically did it over time. He didn't, in his prime, just arbitrarily decide, I'm going to move up 2 weight classes and fight the baddest man in that weight class. No, Floyd didn't do it. Roberto didn't do it. The only person that did it was Adrian Broner, and we see how that worked out for him. That's something that normally has to happen over time.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Technically, AB didn't do it. If you think about it, AB beat a very small Paulie Malignaggi, who really wasn't 147 true 147
I'm talking about when he went up to fight Maidana. He moved up too much.
But listen,
too fast.
let me finish. Maidana was a title defense. That's what you're missing. Maidana was a title defense. So what I'm saying is, he really cherry-picked Paulie Malignaggi, and by doing that, he was able to get that fight and get that recognition. But what I'm saying is this, and I get you coming from a trainer's perspective. I'm coming from a fan's perspective. Like I told my brother Free, who was saying, no,
put their life on the line.
He said, no. I don't know about that. I told you, man, he was scared to death, man.
I wouldn't say he was scared to death. Because if he was scared,
I would put it like this. When you scared to death, it ain't no money that's gonna put you in a situation.
You won't even get in the ring.
Right. You scared to death. You not taking no money. You scared to death. You not taking no money. You like, if you scared to death, you thinking about, okay, yeah, they're going to pay me this money, but am I going to live to see this money? So you're not getting in the ring. I don't think he was scared to death. I just think he got hit with a shot and he was like, you know what? I'm not getting knocked out. I'm not going to be a meme out here and get knocked out.
Well, then that means what? Then that means
if he was scared
that
to
means
death,
he was a coward.
If he was scared to death when he took that knee, he would have stayed down. He didn't have to stand there and take that shit for 12 rounds. And here's the thing. This why I will say this, and you're not going to like when I say this, but I'm going to keep it 100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like when people who've never been in a ring question a fighter's heart, call him a coward, call him scared, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't speak from experience. You don't know what it is to climb through those ropes. You don't know what he was feeling. You don't know what
Breaking up.
He breaking up. But I'll say this, Free. I'm gonna read a couple of these comments before I say something. Salute to my brother Marky Dan, the boxing historian in the house, man. I got you. My man C. Wood said, Major, my brother Juan, the Puerto Rican protector in the house.
My bad. I went out. I'm back. My bad. I had to turn my Wi-Fi off because I'm leaving. But I had to pop off. I just want to finish my thought real quick.
Go ahead. I couldn't hear nothing you said, bro. You cut all the way out, brother. Let me push you off and put you back on. Pause, because you sound like a robot. 1 second. But this is the thing I'm saying. I'm gonna bring my brother back in 1 second. This is the thing I'm saying, man. Go ahead. Can you hear us now? Yeah, you sound real choppy on. No, we can't hear you at all. You sound real choppy. Hey, but this what I'll say after I read a couple of these comments, man. He said, hopefully my man C. Wood said, hopefully Benavidez, Morrell, or someone get back with Bibble for Canelo. Doubt it, but let's see what he decides. Salute to my brother Crush the Legend in the house, man. He actually called the fight with us, man. My TWT brother, the second greatest man alive behind me. My man said bingo. Salute to my brother Just Do saying D Free. My man C. Wood. Salute to Quee. Also, he said Crown Shoe True. My man Juan, the Mexican protector in the house, he said what's good. He said D Free, Crown, and the boxing politician BBO. Now I ain't no politician. I keep it real. That's your boy. That's your boy Free over there. That's the politician, man. But let me say this though, man, before we read some more of these comments. I think what we seen the other night, Saturday, was a travesty because you know what? That's the problem with the society as a whole. It's always want to make an excuse why we not getting the best product. And Free, you know, like I know, man, Muhammad Ali was prepared to die in that ring. That's why they paid that money. You're not paid that money to think. If you want to think, man, get a job at the office, man. At the end of the day, we want to see gladiators and warriors, man. So how disappointed were you in that fight, Free?
I wasn't disappointed. I just said it wasn't the best Charlo that we seen, but I wasn't disappointed in the fight because I mean the man did what you always claimed Canelo did and went up there to be great. And he fell short. I mean the man, like I said, the man just wanted to survive after he felt the power. He didn't believe that Canelo power was what it was. And me personally, I still don't think Canelo power is all of that because even after that fight, I'm sitting there looking at Charlo and he didn't look battered up or bruised or anything. He just got beat. He didn't put out a performance to win a fight. He went out there just to survive for 12 rounds. And I mean, on one hand, I understand. But on the other hand, I mean, sometimes you gotta go out there and leave it all on the line. And like my man Just Do said earlier, sometimes you get praise for getting knocked out. If you put out a best performance and you happen to get stopped, sometimes you get praise for that. It looks better when you fight back than to not fight at all, because you get criticized for not fighting. But I mean, yeah, people won't say, "Oh, he went out there, he got knocked out," but the man fought him. I mean, how many other people that was at 54 jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo right now? It ain't many. They might say they want to fight Canelo, but shit, we might see the same thing when they get in the ring. They might get in there and, you know what, just start running. Oh no, I'm not fighting this dude. This dude big as a motherfucker. I'm not fighting him. So I don't know.
I'll say this, man. I agree with you, man. He lived I wasn't disappointed. I was definitely hurt though to see that he didn't have any heart. The fact that he went in there, man, and like you said, the moment he first sought the power, it just kind of got me, because you know what's funny? One thing I will say, you said this best. Canelo ain't got the power he used to have, because Canelo was hitting him flush, and you know he wasn't going nowhere. I'll say this.
Right.
The fact is, it's the same things we've been talking about with Jermell Charlo. The man is not working on his game. Didn't Tony Harrison say all you was doing was headhunting? All you was doing was headhunting. At the end of the day,
what I was. That part right there, I was disappointed. Being though he's a Derrick James fighter, I would have thought that he would have went to Canelo body a lot more. He didn't. I think he might have only went to Canelo body maybe like 7 or 8 times.
And you know Canelo,
I'm like, no, you got to. No, I'm gonna say you got a guy that got a lot of power and got a lot of steam that's coming at you. The way to slow him down is to go to the body. The body takes all that away. It takes the power away. It takes the speed away. It takes the steam away. So you want to go to a man's body to slow all that down. So I was that part. I was disappointed, because I would have thought that that Charlo would have went to Canelo body a lot more often.
but see, it's the same thing. This is what Tony Harrison said. Tony Harrison said, all you do is headhunt. All you do is headhunt. You don't know how to box. All you do is headhunt.
Yeah, but Tony Harrison, you supposed to headhunt. He ain't got no chin.
But listen, what I'm saying is, in that fact, it makes sense. Like one thing, it was funny. I like how my man Crown tried to throw that at me, because he used to be a fighter at the highest level. He said, "Oh, you ain't been in the ring." I don't got to be in the ring to know what I'm looking at.
You got to know what he's experiencing, though, and you don't really know what you're looking at. You know what you see, but there's far more to boxing than what the eyes can see. It's layers to it. And see, what you don't usually hear is other fighters say stuff like he's a coward or he's a bum. To call a man a bum, or like you just said, Tony Harrison said he can't box. This man is an undisputed world champion. That's ludicrous to say he can't box. He's been boxing his ass off for a very long time. The thing is, he ran into something that was a little too much for him. And the reality is this: no other professional sport goes through this. Michael Jordan sent a lot of people home. Nobody said they were bums. They just got beat by Mike. You know what I mean? There's a football team. There's 14 football teams that lose every Sunday. Nobody
let me ask you this before you finish. Let me ask you this before you finish. So you just get into my next point. So this fight absolves Canelo from that Floyd loss. So no longer can we talk about.
No,
how does that make sense?
Listen,
no, it does not. No, it does not.
Like I've been telling you,
beat Floyd.
You
can't erase a loss by fighting somebody else. You didn't beat that man that beat you.
Free. Let me finish. I was telling you, if he went in there and beat a guy like Jermell Charlo, who is my favorite fighter.
You were telling me, you wasn't making no sense. I don't care what you told me. You wasn't making no sense. So if I beat your ass and then you come and you fight Crown and you beat his ass, that erased no ass woman that you got from me? No.
What it proves was that Canelo wasn't as seasoned as he is now.
No,
so
it
because
does not.
he wasn't as seasoned as he is now. So that
doesn't prove the damn thing.
Hold on.
Charlo ain't no Floyd.
Let me finish. And I want y'all guys to know before I say anything else, both these guys are Puerto Rican and they want to jump on me, the black man. So I want y'all to hear that first. But listen, this absolves that loss because he went in there with an undisputed champion and dominated him.
No, it does not.
He dominated a guy that was 2 weight classes smaller than him. He was supposed to do it. It was a lose-lose fight for Canelo. And it was a win-win for Charlo. Because everybody that knows what they're looking at is going to say, okay, you were supposed to beat the junior middleweight. You're a super middleweight. He's 2 weight classes smaller, 14 pounds smaller. You were supposed to. And if and
seen
Charlo in taking the fight knew if I win, I'm a hero. If I lose, it doesn't damage me at all because nobody expected me to win. And that's those fights happen sometimes. Like when Marlon Starling went up and fought Michael Nunn for the middleweight title from welterweight. He went up 2 weight classes. Everybody was like, damn, even though he lost, he went the distance and gave Michael Nunn a good fight. He still got credit. Or what it takes me back to is when Hector Camacho moved up and fought Felix Trinidad. And the commentator asked him in a post-fight press conference why he held so much. He said, listen, I'll punch you in your face and you'll know why I was holding. He said, listen, he was too strong for me. It was either run or hold. And my legs were gone, so I couldn't run. At the end of the day, you got to survive. Nobody's going in there to get brutalized or to leave everything they have in the ring unless they're a fool. Once he realized he couldn't win, the next thing he had to do was keep himself safe. And he did it.
Muhammad did it. But let me say this.
There's only one Muhammad Ali. Let me finish. Let me respond to that because it's a trash point. Muhammad Ali never fought nobody 2 weight classes bigger than him because there's no such thing. He was a heavyweight. You can't compare a heavyweight to a junior middleweight fighting a super middleweight. The thing is, he realized he could not beat that man. And once he realized he couldn't beat that man, he did what he could to keep himself safe, which was a feat in itself. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not being personal. I'm just saying, because you took these shots at him, I don't give a damn what kind of style you employ. You wouldn't have lasted 12 rounds.
Of course not. But let me
so
say
don't
this.
Call him a coward.
Let me say this. Roy Jones went up there 8 pounds and beat James Toney. So I don't want to hear none of this. But let me read you some of these comments.
8 pounds or 14 pounds
hold on.
is totally different.
Let me read a couple of these comments. My man, Marky Dan says salute. He said unified champion, but lost his belt and leverage as undisputed. But the money is a win, is a major win. That's true. My man, boxing scholar said Charlo. I ain't gonna read that. He said, my man was. He said, what's good, Major? Hold on 1 second. He said after that fight, he doesn't have 1 ounce of shame. He didn't have 1 ounce of shame. And you know what, boxing scholar, you said it right. He didn't have any ounce of shame because you know what? At the end of the day, the greatness of Muhammad Ali, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr. It's not.
You can't say that after Oscar laid down against Bernard. Don't even give me that. Oscar laid on the ground against Bernard and refused to get up. Don't give me that.
No, he shouldn't have an ounce of shame because he went in there and fought a guy that was 2 weight classes above him. Why would he be ashamed of that? He lasted 12 rounds with him. Why would he be ashamed of that?
Let me read these.
There's no shame in losing to the better man. Period. There's no shame in that.
Let me read these comments real quick before y'all brothers jump on me. And I'll just say this before I read these comments. Roy Jones went up 8 pounds and beat James Toney. So
he needed to move up at that point. He never went back down to middleweight because he couldn't make middleweight no more.
He said, I was happy he made it 12 rounds. My man Josh said free in BDO. My man C. Wood said business of boxing won and fans continue to take an L. Absolute facts. Everybody saying facts to that.
This is what I want to say real quick, right? My stablemate, Levander Johnson, look it up. September 17th, 2005, defended his IBF title against Jesus Chavez, right?
Right.
He was stopped in the 11th round. Mm-hmm. He went back into the dressing room, slipped into a coma, and died 5 days later. I wish he would have decided to stop trying to win that fight and protected himself. The fans keep talking about them taking an L. It's entertainment. Nobody should lose their life for your damn entertainment. It's stupidity. These fans feel like these guys are dispensable. Their lives don't mean nothing. And, you know, when they're done or used up, you just go to the next fighter. I'm not buying that. None of these fans talking this, most of them have never been punched in the mouth. They've never been through those ropes. That man lost to one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. The guy was bigger than him, stronger than him, and he realized early he was too much for him. It happens.
It happens. I got to say this, Crown. That was crazy.
Okay, you tell me this. Since you say that was the worst performance you've seen in your life, that's right. What you say, BBO. Which performance was worse? The performance from Charlo or the performance from Cool Boy?
I would say Cool Boy.
Exactly. So it ain't the worst that you've seen. It's not the worst that you've seen.
Okay. The second
Or how about all the fighters that been
hold on,
knocked out in the first round?
Well, let me read these comments real quick. My man McClain. Shout out to my brother, my man Clarence McClain. He's from the Bronx, y'all, but we still got love for this brother, man. Salute to my man Juan said, I'm hoping BBO let me play some fights. He said, professionals are expected to act accordingly. Take a risk for the win and the bag, not just the bag. Facts, man. He said,
being in there for 12 rounds with Charlo's a risk in itself. And like I said, whoever's making them comments, I guarantee you couldn't have boxed and avoided those shots for 12 rounds. That was very professional. It took a professional to last those 12 rounds.
And salute to my brother Just Do, sending some love. My man Dr. Mark in the house. What's up with you, brother? He said, salute to the guys D Free, BBO Bundini, and my brothers, man, Elevate fam and God's beautiful goodness. Of always solid. My brother right there. He said Jermell had no chance. His punches had no power. Hold on one second. I got lost.
He couldn't hurt him.
He said, bruh, Durant came from lightweight and beat Barkley at 36 years old. That's an absolute
He didn't come
fact.
from lightweight and beat Barkley. He hadn't been at lightweight in probably 15 years when he fought Iran Barkley. I was at that fight. I trained with Iran Barkley before that fight. Y'all just say anything. Durant hadn't been a lightweight for 15 years when he fought Iran Barkley. He had already fought Marvin Hagler, Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. He hadn't been lightweight not on how long. So y'all just stop with your bullshit takes. Durant did not come from lightweight. He went from lightweight to welterweight to junior middleweight to middleweight, and he probably had 12 fights at middleweight before he fought Iran Barkley. Y'all full of crap.
And you know, and I'm gonna tell you, you say, why do I have my brother Crown Jewel on the Road with the Punches podcast, man, with my brother D Free? Because the man, he don't look like it, but he knows his boxing, man. He makes some terrible takes, but this brother Crown Jewel knows his boxing. I mean, his takes are garbage. I wouldn't use any of his takes.
Hey, and when I'm glad y'all just brought that up. I was actually with Iran Barkley and Roberto Duran over the weekend. If you check my page, you see the picture of me and Roberto Duran. I was with both of them brothers over the weekend. But Roberto Duran did not come from lightweight to fight Iran Barkley. He was a lightweight 15, 20 years before he fought Iran Barkley.
And my man, Boxing Scholar said something very true. He said boxers are paid for their risk. Stop. That's the absolute fact.
That sounds good, right? That sounds good. So that means when Damar Hamlin almost lost his life in a football game last year and they stopped the game and the whole world was praying, nobody should have been worried because the NFL players are paid a lot better than boxers and he's paid for his risk. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Your health and well-being comes first. Not some dummy who's watching the fight and wants to see somebody get knocked out.
Hey, my man said the guy.
Your $80 you spent on a pay-per-view is not worth a man's life. Period.
He said the guy wood in the building in the sky makes a lot of money because he can fall. He said
no, the guy cleaning the building takes every precaution he can not to fall.
Oh, well in the building, my mistake.
He's paid well because of the risk, but he minimizes those risks by safeguarding himself every way he can, which is exactly what Jermell Charlo did the other night. You're making my point. He does everything he can to keep himself safe. But even though there's still an inherent danger, even though he does everything he can to keep himself safe, that's why he's paid. So he was paid because he's getting in there with a killer. But it's still his job to do everything he can to keep himself safe, and that's what he did.
So what Crown is basically saying, which is very true, is that, hey, Jermell Charlo went in there not listening to his coach. He got beat up really bad, and it could have been worse. And you know what's so funny? We got to thank Canelo for taking it easy on him, man. Because Canelo really could have went and stopped that kid.
The coach don't know what he was feeling either. And that's the thing. Nobody knows what you're feeling. Again, like I said, I stand on what I said.
You gotta understand.
My friend died in the ring.
You gotta understand. A coach tells you what to do, but the fighter knows what the reaction is after he do what he told him to do. So he tell him to jab, go to the body. Okay, he does that and he get countered. He not gonna jab, go to the body again. He got caught with a counter. So yeah, the coach tell him what to do, but there's still a reaction behind what he's doing. So the fighter can go so much, can do so much of what the coach tell him, because the fighter got to find his own way. The coach is telling what he believes that's going to work, but he don't know if it's going to work for real. That's what he believes is going to work.
Yes, he elected to take the risk. He went 12 rounds. He fulfilled his contractual obligation. Yes, he did. Was it as entertaining as you would have liked or I would like? No.
Absolutely not.
Contractually, he fulfilled his obligation. I wonder how y'all feel about football teams that go into prevent defense or just run the ball and run the clock when they get up. That's strategy.
Hold on one second.
This is what I really want to know. Everybody's sitting here, they crying for Bud Crawford and Canelo. Bud Crawford and Canelo. We just saw Canelo fight somebody 2 weight class below. Now you want Bud Crawford to go up 3 weight class, and if Bud Crawford go in there and do the same thing that Jermell did, or get knocked out, what's your excuse gonna be then? You gonna say,
what happens?
Hold on. Bud Crawford was a coward?
No, what happens if Bud goes up there and stops him?
If he goes to stop him, he stops. But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? What if he get knocked out? Or what if he does the same thing Jermell does? You gonna call? I got
a question for you, BVO.
Let me finish. So what happens if he stops?
It ain't gonna happen.
Let me tell you this. Because what I seen from Canelo had his stamina, but the man's power was gone. His power was gone. So
Canelo has an iron chin.
Let me finish. We know he got an iron chin. So he went in there. I don't want to mess with my point. So we know he went in there with Canelo, right? That's the thing that y'all missing. So he got in there with Canelo, right? If you think about how Canelo looked very vulnerable, he was throwing a lot of arm punches, hip punches, the same old stuff he do. If he got in there with a David Morrell would have killed that Canelo that we seen this weekend. David Morrell would have beat the life out of Canelo this weekend.
David Morrell is twice Terrence Crawford's size.
This is what I'm saying.
Not a good point.
I think David Morrell and Terrence Crawford couldn't beat Canelo from what I've seen, because the head movement's gone. The spectacular fight that we once seen is gone. Right now, all he's doing is throwing big shots, and everybody's not going to stand there to get hit with them big shots.
I understand what you're saying. But what if Canelo knocks him out?
But let me finish my point. And you got to remember that Terrence Crawford has an A+ IQ, almost a trainer in the ring. So a guy like him or a guy like David Morrell wouldn't have gave us an awful fight like that. Let me read some of these comments. We keep missing this comment. He said, a risk he elected to take, not one he was forced into. He took the bag versus fighting Tim Tszyu. That's a fact. He said he tried. Tell him, Jew. My man Josh said, talk your crap. He said, I think it was 22 years, Crown Jewel. My man,
that's even better. You make my point even better.
My man, hold on one second. My man, A1 in the building, what's going on? Hold on, these comments jumped on me. He said, nobody wants to see a body, but it's a job hazard. It's what he signed up for. And someone said,
he did what he signed up for. He went 12 rounds. But here's the thing I want to say, real quick.
Hold on, let me finish his comments. I'm gonna let you go I'm gonna let you go, I promise. He said, Bud don't want them problems. We gonna see, Crutch. He said, I ain't crying for Bud and Canelo, but if he gets his head whooped in the ring, he better fight to win, and it's bad. And that's what Jermell didn't do. He said Mosley jumped 2 weight classes. That's a fact. He said Canelo definitely has a great chin. He said, BBO, please don't take your belt off on me. I won't do that to you, Crown. I promise. I won't take my belt off. I mean, Crush, I won't take my belt off. He said, pause. He said, difference. Tell him, Crush. He said, Bud is too small, BBO. No, he's not. Canelo is only 5'7". He said,
not just about height. We're not just about height.
He said, no, LOL, Morrell, yes, but Terrence too small. He said, MF, that's what Canelo has done his entire career. He throws all his power shots and decided to jab a bit this fight versus Mel. Yo, my man Anthony in the building, my man Josh Sanders said, I could see Bud getting discouraged in the ring with Canelo, because if Bud hit Canelo with his best shots, he eats Bud is in trouble. Real talk. Tony, you starting on one of the people. My bad. Go ahead, Crown. But go ahead, Crown.
All right. First of all, the person that brought up Shane Mosley jumping 2 weight classes, they should know a little history. Shane Mosley fought at 139 pounds as an amateur. He went down to 135 when he turned pro. So he was a big lightweight. He probably should have been fighting at 140 as a pro. He was an Olympic alternate at 139. He fought at 139 for a few years before turning pro. So he wasn't really a true lightweight. He was killing himself to make lightweight from his pro debut. That's first of all. Second of all, I wonder if any of these people making these comments follow basketball or football. Because if they do, right, what happens when your basketball or football team goes down to the other team and it's an insurmountable lead, right? Your stars get taken out the game, right? Which means you're no longer trying to win. And when you don't take them out and they stay in and get hurt, we'll all tell them they're stupid for continuing to keep their stars in the game and continue to try to win a game that's unwinnable. It's an event. It's a match. Once it's unwinnable, you put yourself in position to be able to compete in the next one, not get yourself hurt to where you can't compete in the next one. Like I said, they do it in every sport. When your football team goes down 5 touchdowns and it's in the second half, what's the first thing they do? They take that starting quarterback out. That means I'm waving the white flag. I'm no longer trying to win. It happens in every sport. The reality is this. Everybody should go into the ring wanting to win. But once it becomes apparent that you cannot win, there has to be life after that night. And then you go into survival mode, which is what Jermell Charlo did. It's not nothing to salute him for. It's not nothing to rave about, but it's a natural human reaction. The reality is all professional sports are a business. And if the Lakers are down 50 and LeBron's in the game in the fourth quarter, every LeBron fan will say the Lakers coach is a goddamn fool. Because he got LeBron in there and they have no
LeBron's 100 years old, bro.
I don't give a damn how old you are. You don't continue to try to win an event that you know you can't win and risk health and injury. Every sport does it. You just look at it different because you look at boxing as a fight.
The problem with the fans is they only live for the night. They don't live for the future. Because if Charlo would have sat there and try to win this fight when he knew he couldn't, and he would have got caught and God forbid something happened like Crown friend did, and he went into a coma and passed away, everybody be sitting up here feeling sorry the next day.
Then they be saying the corner should have stopped it. He should have took a knee.
Everybody
all kinds of stuff. But
here's the thing. He knew he couldn't beat Canelo. He shouldn't even been in that fight. That's what they would have been saying.
Crown, I'm gonna tell you how you sound, man. You sound like Bud Crawford when you say F the fans. Okay, I get it. It's F the fans because you're a boxer. I've actually heard
it's not F the fans, but the fans have to be realistic.
Let me finish. I heard Breadman tell Taylor Flint one time in a fight, F this crowd. During that Anthony Durrell fight, F this crowd. I don't care about this crowd. F this crowd. I think it's a really crazy, slippery slope for guys to be saying F the fans, bro. And that's what you're telling me. Basically saying.
Hold on. I got an answer for that. It's not real quick, Freaks. Let me respond to that because he directed that to me real quick. It's not F the fans and the fans don't matter. But a doctor, a heart surgeon, or architect is not going to let a fan or somebody who doesn't participate in what he do give him strategy. So what he's saying, F the fans and F what the fans want you to do or what they think you should do because they have no expertise in this area. Why am I listening to a heart surgeon ain't listening to you on how he should operate on your mother's heart?
You have to stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up.
No,
hey, man,
you muted me throwing my point because you know I was killing you.
No, my bad.
I said all the time. I say about Devin Haney. Fuck what the fans want. You not a knockout artist. Don't go in there trying to prove a point to the fans and get yourself knocked out. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to win and survive. That's the ultimate goal.
And here's the thing. Again, it's not fuck the fan as a person, but it's fuck what they're telling you to do. You can't tell.
No good, lousy son of a bitch.
Hey.
That's exactly what he is. Is a no.
If you go mute me when I'm talking,
my bad. I do that to everybody, man. My bad. Go ahead. I'm having some fun with you, man. You know it's me, baby.
Yeah, it's not personal though. Yeah. It's not. You're not saying fuck the fans as a person. Fuck their hard-earned money they spent. But again, a lay person can't tell a surgeon how to operate, can't tell an architect how to build a building, and can't tell a boxer how to box. You have no clue what you're talking about. All you are is a fan. A fan needs to stay in a fan's place. You cheer for one fighter or the other. You accept the win or defeat, and you move on with your life. But at the end of the day, you have no
You can't have it both ways, Crown. You can't have it both ways.
You can't have
you
it
can't
both
have
ways.
it both ways.
Again, you're not going to go to a doctor and say, listen, you gave my mom a double bypass when it should have been a triple. He's going to look at you and say, you don't have a clue what the hell you're talking about. I'm paid to be a surgeon. You're paid to bring your patient to me so that I can operate on them. Fighters are paid to fight. You pay to watch the fight. You're an expert at looking at the fight and saying, hey, that was good. That wasn't good. You're not an expert on strategy. You have no clue no business telling a fighter what he should or shouldn't be doing because you don't know.
I'll say this. The thing that you're missing with this whole boxing is this. Hold on. But what I was saying was simple as this. When you talk about what we just said, that's the problem with boxing. You always you moving the goalpost. You throwing a lot of red herrings. You throwing a lot of crazy points like, what about football? What about baseball? None of those matter to this. The fact is, we pay $85, man, to see these brothers fight, and the brother ran like Carl Lewis the whole fight, and he talks cash money to black guys all the time, but he get in there with Canelo, he want to be the freaking the preacher's kid.
It's
so
nothing
about
race. Stop making it about race. Don't do
it. Ain't
that.
about race. It's not about race. You just made
it about race. You talk about what he did to black guys, and then he get in. No, it's not about race. He fought a superior fighter who was bigger and stronger than him, and he realized he couldn't handle it. Now you're saying he ran around the ring, right? Like you said, I'm a former boxer, and hold on, I'm a former boxer and a current trainer, right? This is what the layperson don't know. If I give my fighter an instruction to box somebody, what am I telling him to do?
Never seen him do that.
Around the ring.
We've never seen him do that.
Oh, if I tell him to box, I'm telling him to move. I'm telling him to hit and not be hit. By definition, that's what it means to box. So when people say he didn't box because he was moving or he was running, really don't understand that the origins of the sport was to move, to circle laterally, to hit and to not be hit. It's not a tough man competition. People should really understand what boxing is before they start talking. Some guys are brawlers, and that's why you have different styles. Just like any other martial art, there are different disciplines, different styles of fighting. And it may not be your cup of tea, but this man did not honor his contract by employing the tactics that he did. His contract,
he stole from us, Crown.
I will get in that ring and I will fight this man to the best of my ability. That's what he did. Y'all would have rather. It's like the people when Floyd fought Pacquiao, right? And he beat him. And then I had women, children, everybody come to me and say, well, he should have stood there and fought Pacquiao. Why should I stay there and let this man punch on me? Why? So you can feel good about it for your little punk ass $80? You out of your mind.
This what I'll say to that. This what I'll say to that, man. One, I gotta snatch your chain. You talking too crazy. But before I finish, man, let me read a couple of these topics, man. These topics coming in. Salute to everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't moonlight, man. Smash the like button for your boy BBO, your boy D3, man. And you see, we got my man, the master boxing, actually came up in some of the best gyms on the East Coast. I'm telling you, Crown Jewel knows what he's talking. At this point, he's making an awful point because at the end of the day, man, we want to see these brothers go in there and blood, sweat, and tears for those fights because that's what Ali did.
Go watch a tough man competition.
Boxing is two men meeting and sit on the ring so one of them fall. That's boxing.
That's not
this
boxing.
Stuff y'all talking about.
That's
this
not
stuff
boxing.
y'all talking about.
That's
y'all talking about that corny
boxing.
Running.
You can't redefine a sport that's thousands of years old. That's not boxing.
My man said,
BBO never boxed. All he ever did was play football. He never boxed. All he ever did was play football. He don't know nothing about boxing.
And you know what that is? That's like a football. Somebody's going to a football game and saying football is just handing the ball to the running back and running up the middle every time. That's one facet of football. Just like banging is one facet of boxing, but boxing is multifaceted. You bring up Muhammad Ali. You love Muhammad Ali. When did Muhammad Ali go stand in the middle of the ring till one person fell? Don't tell me.
Well, you know what Muhammad Ali did? Hold on. Let's remember when Muhammad Ali, after like the 10th round, he was pretty flat-footed, trying to get you out of there.
After he had already boxed his man, weakened him, and when he felt him get weakened, it was safe to stand in front of him. Then he stood in front of him. But Muhammad Ali didn't become flat-footed until he got older and he couldn't move anymore. And
he damn sure ain't staying flat-footed against George Foreman. Damn sure ain't staying flat-footed against George Foreman.
He didn't stay flat-footed against anybody as a young fighter.
He said Charlo got some baiting. He said size-wise, not height-wise. I meant too small, not too short. He said, no, only messing he took running. He was running. That's the fact, man. He said, yep, he should have fought at 140. That must be an old comment. He said, what's the host name?
Shane Mosey. He was talking about Shane Mosey.
Oh, Shane. Okay. He said, who's the host? BBO. He knows his boxing, but not Western boxing. I don't know what he's saying. My man Ant-Man in the building said the only person I can see having a legitimate shot to beat Canelo is David Benavidez or David Morrell. I don't think anybody can beat Canelo right now. I'll be honest.
Dimitri Bivol already did, so that's a bad point.
I'll say, but he's a 175 pounder. You moving the goalpost.
Well, no.
I'm saying is,
he said he wanted to fight Canelo at 168, and Canelo said no. Bivol said he'd come down and fight him at 68.
Pause. He's too big. Canelo
he said he'd come to 68. If him being too big, no.
He's too big.
You're moving the goalposts now. So if him hold on, real quick. Hold on, you moving the goalpost now. If you're saying he's too big if he come to 68, but Charlo don't have that same excuse when he goes up to 68, that's bullshit.
Hey, he's too big. I'm gonna say this. I'm
gonna tell you right now, he's not too big because actually it's in Canelo's favor to fight him at 68 because he's shrinking himself. He's draining himself to fight at 68. So it's actually in Canelo's favor. Canelo knows that he's a better fighter than him. That's why he said no.
He's more athletic than him.
Let me answer this question real quick. David Benavidez does not have a chance on God's green earth to beat Canelo Alvarez because Boo Boo Andre might stop him.
I think Canelo beats Benavidez.
Hold on one second. I think he's going in there with one of the most underrated boxers that we've seen. This guy, one time, people forget about Boo Boo Andre. Boo Boo Andre was willing to go to heavyweight to fight Anthony Joshua. Demetrius Andre is one of the most talented boxers boxing has seen in the last 15 years. He just hasn't had his opportunity. So let's not forget that.
Not his last fight. You've seen him in his last fight. He wasn't the talented boxer you've seen in his last fight.
I said one of them.
He's not a walk in the park for Canelo by any stretch of the imagination. But I've seen David Benavidez's last fight too. And in David Benavidez's last fight, it showed me that he don't want no parts of Canelo. Now, David Morrell, I believe.
I don't know because
Benavidez feet too slow.
Caleb Plant is a boxer. He's not somebody that's just gonna come straight forward. Canelo's not gonna move like Caleb Plant did. It took a minute for David Benavidez to catch up to Caleb Plant, and once he caught up to him, it was pretty much over.
But Canelo is actually more athletic than Caleb Plant when he wishes to be. And when I seen that Caleb Plant fight, and he was having problems with Caleb Plant being too slick for him, Canelo could be slippery and be standing right in front of you.
I don't know if David Benavidez can beat Canelo or not. Only Canelo knows that because Canelo's the only one who's been avoiding this man for a while.
I said that. No, he's not.
I don't know why he's avoiding him.
No, he's not.
Yes, he has been avoiding him. Yes, he has.
Come on, man. That's bullcrap. Canelo is the king, man.
I don't know why Canelo's ducking this man because I think he beats him easy. But David Morrell's the real deal. I think he gives Canelo fits.
I already said it. I told everybody. I don't got nobody at 168 beating David Morrell. Nobody. I'll
say this because I got to be unbiased. You brothers are biased. I got to be unbiased in this. And usually BBO can be biased sometimes.
Most biased.
Hold on. BBO can be biased sometimes. But you know what? I'm gonna put my unbiased hat on and say this. At the end of the day, what we seen with David Benavidez is a very limited fighter who gets hit entirely too much, who really has no chance against a guy with real power. Because those shots that I've seen Caleb Plant giving, if Canelo got that, if Morrell got that, he would be asleep. And I think this is the thing that you're missing. Everybody's self to the running to the baddest man in the world. And now we got to say this, man. No longer can we bring up that Floyd Mayweather loss, because guess what? Canelo went and beat Austin Trout when they asked him to. When Floyd said, you got to beat Austin Trout.
He lost to Austin Trout.
Hold on, listen. Hold on. No, he did not. No, he did not. Now you're making up crap, man.
No, not Trout. Not Trout. He lost to Lara.
No, see, there you go again, moving the goalposts. I'm talking about the great Austin Trout that he beat. So that being said,
when has Austin Trout been great?
He was a WBO champion, bro. What are you talking about? He was a WBO champion.
Y'all thought these great legend. Y'all throw these words around a little too loosely. When was Austin Trout great? Hold on. Let me finish, man. Let me finish. Don't attack the black man. I know that's what y'all want to do. But let's say this. When it comes to boxing, it's the thing you got to remember. We want to see guys go in that ring and be willing to die. And that's how it's always been.
No, it's not.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Hold on.
That's ridiculous.
Hold on.
Ridiculous.
Hold on. Let me read a couple of these comments. My man said, technique, David Benavidez for sure, 100. He said, DBO, you know your boxing is not Western boxing, if you understand what I'm saying. Picasso, you got to stop drinking so late at night, man. I don't know what you're saying, bro.
What he's saying is Western boxing is where it originated at in Europe with the Queensberry rules. And what he's saying is, I'm speaking of Western boxing, which is the original boxing, which is boxing, hit, not get hit, be slick. And what he's telling you is they've redefined boxing and it should be rock'em, sock'em, robot. And you can't take somebody's sport and say,
that's
all right,
boxing.
I'm redefining it.
That's boxing. Get in the middle of the ring and see who's the man. Sloopy said, crush.
That's a tough man competition. That's not boxing.
That's fighting. That's not boxing.
I want to say something real quick, too. You bring up Muhammad Ali all the time, right? When they asked Muhammad Ali about the Ken Norton fight when his jaw was broke, right?
He lost all three, yes.
No. But do you know what he said when they asked him about his broken jaw?
Yeah.
He said, had I known my jaw was broken, I would have stopped. I wouldn't have continued the fight. And they said, why? He said, are you crazy? I'm not fighting with a broken jaw. So even Muhammad Ali did not want to lose his life in the ring. He said, had he known his jaw was broke, he would have quit. That's what he said. That's what Ali said. So he had a tremendous heart. But really, nobody should lose their life for a sport. And anybody that says that is ridiculous. You're talking stupidity. No one should lose their life for your entertainment. It shouldn't happen. We don't have that, which is why we don't have gladiator sports where guys go into a coliseum with swords and fight to the death. We don't live like that anymore. It's stupidity. There's no amount of money to do that.
I'll say this. Now, you're my brother, man, and I know you know what you're saying. But that's just a crazy point. I'm gonna read this book. He said we all knew that this was going to happen. Canelo did what he needed to do. Crawford is a great fighter, but you're risking your health to jump up there.
Yes, you are.
He said it's already happening. I've been passing through YouTube. They've not given credit to Canelo for beating Charlo, which is a travesty. This is a race that Floyd Mayweather lost, in my opinion. He said they're saying he shouldn't have beat Charlo's. He beat Charlie Pigs. He's smaller fighter. He said, hold on one second. Hold on. He said if I was a boxer or a doctor, I don't want help. I don't want outside help. I might not see what they see. And that's the fact.
That's true.
He said the perfect example of this is Devin Haney. Remember when his dad was promising that he was going to knock out Linares, Loma, and when they didn't happen, people turned on Devin, but it's not his father. I would say this. Before we go down this thing. I'm gonna say this. My brother Crown Jewel, man, makes some great points. I mean, no one should lose their life for our entertainment, and I believe that. B Free said it many times. We don't. I'll admit I don't have the kind of experience that Crown has. That's why I always have him on the show. But the thing is that Crown won't tell you is that most boxers will die in the ring at any given moment.
No,
they
most of them say that.
No, they won't.
Most of them say that. I'm around fighters all the time. I know a bunch of fighters personally. That sounds good to say, and most of them say it, but it's not true. It happens all the time where guys don't literally quit a fight, but quit when they stop trying to win and they get on a bike, or it's fight or flight, bro. And when you can no longer outfight somebody, it's flight. There are very few fighters that are knowingly going in there and putting their life on the line. Most of them are training their ass off and using every technique they can to keep themselves safe. That's just the reality.
No, I'm gonna tell you like this.
What are they saying? I'm willing to die.
I know a lot of boxers that tell me all the time they do not want to end up talking like daggone Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Tommy the Hitman Hearns took too many shots to the head. That man,
he's a 5-time. He's a 5-division.
No, I don't give a fuck about that. He took too
right
many
now.
shots
He can't have a
You
conversation.
barely can understand what that man's saying.
He's a 5-time, the 5-division
So
champion. What are you talking about?
So what?
What's his lifestyle like now? What's his lifestyle like now?
Of the 5-time champion, regardless of that man barely can speak English. You can't hardly hear nothing he's saying. That man is mumbling. You don't understand hardly anything.
And he lives like a king, and he drives a Rolls
No.
Royce.
Hold on. And
he drives a Rolls Royce.
You're not. Hold on. You're not living that, and you're not up and close and personal with someone that's living that. Saturday night, Doug DeWitt, who fought Tommy Hearns, was inducted into the Langston Box Hall of Fame, right? He got up to give his speech, could barely get through it, rambling on a night that he's being honored. They had to have the band start playing to make him get off stage, right? And my gym mom, who's a record-breaking boxing judge, Gene Williams, turns to me while he's giving his speech and says, they call me Jules. She said, Jules. I said, yes. She said, aren't you glad you didn't stay too long? When I heard him talking. People say it's like honor in destroying yourself for someone else's entertainment. You're not living with that man. I saw this man with his wife and children and him trying to get his wife to talk to people, and she's annoyed because she don't really understand what's going on and he can't really function, and his kids are standing there watching that. I don't give a damn how many world titles you win. I don't care how many millions of dollars you get. There's nothing worth your quality of life being shit for the rest of your life. So people let me say this.
Let me say this before you finish. Now I got to bring my box historian in because you're playing unfair. I had to bring my box historian up because we going gloves off. D3, I see D3 side with my man Crown on this. But Marky Dan, you go back to the doggone beginning of boxing. Isn't the name of the game, man, to do whatever you can to win these fights? It doesn't matter if you live or die, because no matter what, people are gonna take care of you. They're talking about Tommy Hearns, who's been driving Rolls Royces since the 80s.
What people take care of him?
He can get a bag anywhere he goes. He can go anywhere he want to get a bag. Anywhere he wants to get a bag. He can go any store he wants to get a bag.
Let me tell you something. 99.9% of fighters.
Let me finish. The first 5-division champion can go anywhere in America and get a bag because of what he did in the ring.
It's not true.
Muhammad Ali went broke 3 times. How many
former world champions do you know personally? Because I know a lot of them. And 99.9% of them are dead broke and living poverty-stricken. And yes, they can go get a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there to sign autographs and make appearances. But it's not enough to sustain a living. See, it's easy to say that when you don't know these guys.
Tommy Hearns ain't broke.
Hold on. Virgil Hill was a 5-time world champion, Olympic silver medalist. We have kids by sisters. I know them very well. These dudes ain't living the way you think they are. It ain't. And that
he might have spent all his money on the broads, man.
No. But listen. The money you think they're getting is not the money they're getting. All right. Let's say let's break down what $1 million is in boxing. $1 million purse, right? Let's chop it in half and give $450,000 to the IRS right away. Okay? So now you're down to $450,000. Let's take 33 1/3%, 1/3 of what you got left, and give it to your manager. Okay? Let's take 10% and give it to your trainer. Let's take 2% and give it to your cut man, and 2.5% and give it to your assistant trainer. You ain't even paid a sparring partner or a training camp facility yet. So the money you think they're seeing is not really the money they're seeing. They may be going home with 25% of what you're seeing. And guess what? Hold on. And guess what? When they stop fighting, they stop getting paid. I've seen guys in a world title fight, one fight, lose, and be fighting for $1,600 in their next fight in a ballroom card. Boxing is not what you think it is. These guys don't have the money you think they have. So anybody that goes after the bag and protects themselves, I salute you. Because when it's all over, when it's all said and done, and people can't use you to make a buck for themselves anymore, meaning the establishment or the promoters, they throw you to the side and grab the next young guy. There's no pension. There's no medical benefits. Matthew Saad Muhammad I known him for 30 years of my life. He was in my gym from the time I was 7 years old. He died in a hospital alone of Lou Gehrig's disease that he got from boxing. These dudes aren't living like you think.
The man
You
stayed in the vets.
want to say, go ahead and destroy yourself.
He stayed in vets. He stayed in vets, man. He was like the Corvette king. You talking about Saad Muhammad?
No, he wasn't. I know Saad Muhammad since the 80s. Listen, and I hate the God rest his soul. Hold on. You trying to say what you think, and I'm gonna tell you what I know. He spent the last 35 years of his life living in Atlantic City area. I've seen him working at a gas station. I've seen him working for the recycling yard. I've seen him pull up. Hold on. Man. No. You can't tell me nothing about Saad Muhammad.
I'm asking you.
He had money in the 70s and 80s. I watched him at a gas station have to have somebody else pay for his gas. He was at the last probably not the last 10 years of his life, probably up until 10 years before he died. You know what Saad Muhammad was doing?
What's that?
He was working in the Roofers Union, doing back-breaking work here in Atlantic City. He had nothing. Nothing. The IRS took everything he had. So don't sit up here and tell me this dude stayed in Corvettes. No. It was times he didn't even have a car.
I'm talking about when we seen him when he was fighting. He stayed in
Okay. And what I say, as soon as he's no longer fighting, he's no longer serviceable to these promoters, he's no longer making these managers money, he gets thrown out to the pasture like a racing horse with a broken leg.
Well, I'll say this, man. Salute to the chat. The viewership is growing, man. Smash that like button for your boy BVO. Smash that like button for your boy D Free. And only the Bro with the Punches podcast can bring you content like this, man. You got my man Crown Jewels dropping some jewels, which he always does, even though his takes are horrible. I'm going to read a couple of these comments real quick. My man Crush said he would never have the power because he simply doesn't have a lot of power in his punch. He's talking about Devin Haney. My man Picasso, he said the power in his legs, Haney got a little giraffe legs, respectfully. He said, Crown Jewel, I've been telling fans to stay in their lane all the time. He said, fans want to see what they want to see. That's a fact. He said, I understand, I agree. I will listen to others, but I do have my own opinion. Movies. He said, paying money and expecting a violent effort is not merely
vigilante effort.
Say it again. So I'm reading the wrong thing. He said paying money and expecting a vigilante effort to win, not merely survive.
After he got hit, he knew he couldn't win.
He said, but Haney a great boxer and stick, and because the fans will get you slept listening to them, respect them. He said, man, BBO, AJ ran. AJ, I don't ever remember AJ run. He said, I knew he wasn't going to try. He made people believe he was going to win to set a pay-per-view. That's a fact. He lied to the fans. He said he's not great yet. He said, BBO thoughts on my last two comments. I already read those. He said, hit, but don't get hit. That's not the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing is come forward.
That is the sport of boxing.
No, the sport of boxing is come forward. Who's the man? Who can drop hold?
Speaking like a true man that never stepped in the boxing ring.
I want to say something real quick because they keep bringing up Devin Haney, right? A lot of people think I hate Devin Haney, right?
No. Before you do that, let me read this comment. Before you do that, he said, you know what I mean, Crush. Haney got skills shaking my head. He said Charlo was not going to win. He said this. He said the hell is the problem. He ran, so we still got hit and survived. Yes, he can be proud of whatever he wants to do in his mind. I mean, he just stole our money, man. He said Haney only 24 years old. Get a young champ a break. Case of boy always caping up for Devin Haney, the overrated champion, the email champion. Better get my mistake. My man said Canelo didn't do what. Go ahead.
No, I was talking to knockout.
Oh, he said Canelo didn't do what he was supposed to do. He said, case of boy, no one gets a break with me. He said boxing is chess, not checkers.
Yes, it is. That means hit, not get hit.
And matter of fact, before I finish this comment, hey, Marky Dan, you there, bro? You hear me?
Let me say something real quick about Haney, because a lot of people think I hate Haney, and I want to clear that up. I was at Devin Haney's second pro fight in the 2300 arena in Philadelphia. You guys hear me? You there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I had an opportunity to talk to Devin Haney as he left the ring. And you know what I told Devin Haney?
What's that?
I said, Devin, you're a beautiful boxer. Embrace who you are. Punchers are born. They're not made. You're not a puncher. Don't try to please the fan. Don't try to please the crowd.
Why would you
Embrace
say
who
that?
you
Why
are.
would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because
Why
he's
would
going
you
to
say
get
something
hurt
like
trying
that?
to be something he's not.
But why would
Box
you
these
say
guys.
that?
No, because he's going to get hurt being something he's not. That's why I said it. Embrace who you are. You're not a big puncher. You're a beautiful boxer. Box these guys' ears off, have a great career, make your money, and retire rich. Damn trying to prove you're something you're not.
This is the thing I'll say, man. This is the thing I'll say. For you to say that, that breaks my heart, man, because you know boxing, and to tell the man, F the fans, don't listen to the fans. We pay his salary, bro. I don't know why you think you
Fans
can say
can't
that.
tell you how to
We
fight.
pay his salary, bro.
Okay, so hold on. You pay every athlete salary. Do you tell football players how to play?
We
Do you
don't care
tell
about
basketball
football. We
players
care
how to
about
play?
boxing. We care about boxing.
I don't give a
Boxing's
shit
number
what you
one.
care about.
Boxing's number one.
No, it's
Whatever
not.
sport you watch, you pay their salary, and that doesn't mean you get to give them instruction. It doesn't mean you get to give them strategy. It means you get to watch. You're paying to watch, and you get to watch.
Hold on one second. Now, Crown, you my brother, and I love you. I want you to know this. We don't care about football, bro. We don't care about boxing. We don't care about baseball. We're not talking about you, Free. We're not talking about you, Free. We know you care about football. We're talking about the diehard combat sports fan.
The money you pay.
Combat sports fan.
The money you pay. Here's what you get to do as a fan. You get to pay your money, or not. You get to watch.
What's good?
Or
What's
not.
good? Can y'all hear me?
Hold on,
you get to cheer, or you get to boo. You hear me? You get to cheer, or you get to boo. That's what you get to do as a fan. You don't get to be a trainer. You don't get to be an expert. You don't get to give instruction. You don't get the money morning quarterback. You don't get to do anything but either patronize the event or not. That's your choice. And you get to cheer or boo. Anything beyond that, you have no expertise as a fan. If you don't like the way Charlo fought, don't watch him.
Hold on 1 second. Let me say this.
You have that ability. Don't watch.
I wish I could push you like my man Devin pushed Loma. I mean, I wish I could push you.
That was the hardest punch he landed in the whole. That was the worst he did to Loma all night. Was a push at the weigh-in.
Well, let me say this, man. Now, I get what you're saying, but 2 times since we've been talking, you've been saying F the fans. We don't care what the fans think.
No. I say
like
F the fans, and I cleared that up for you. And you keep wanting to go back to try to prove your point that I already cleared it up. I'm not saying F the fans personally. I'm saying F the fans when it comes to them giving you strategy or instruction, because they have no right to do that. And no field in life can somebody that does not do something professionally tell a professional how they should be doing their job. It just doesn't happen. And I'm talking about sports. I'm talking about in anything. No non-participant should be telling a professional how to do their job. You get to patronize or turn your head. That's it.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Where can people find my man Crown Jewel at?
Huh?
I said, where can they find my man Crown Jewel at?
You can find me on Crown Jewel Boxing TV, my YouTube channel. You can find me training fighters and working with kids at the Pleasantville Rec Center. And you can find me on the local school board giving back to the kids. But I'm just saying, as I'm a fan too. And as a fan, I like to see knockouts too. But as somebody that's been in there, I know that that's not always going to happen. And I know, like I said, somebody that has not done it should not be telling somebody that has done it how they should be doing it. That just goes for anything in life.
Hey, if y'all want to see my brother, this is one of my favorite guests of the Road with the Punches podcast. My man Crown Jewel, man. Follow him, subscribe. We're gonna have my brother back. Hopefully he's not so busy. We have him back next week. But we gonna say peace to my brother Crown. Salute, my brother.
All right.
Hey, Marky Dan, what's going on, man?
I'm cool. What's up, bro?
So let me ask you this, man. And I'm gonna let Free go first, man. What did you think about that fight, bro? What you think about that fight?
Was underwhelming. Canelo was just bigger. That's the point blank and period of it. Jermell, none of his punches really had any power. I don't really like. I hear you when you say that. Did you say that Mel was a coward or like he didn't want to fight BBO?
No, I just said he did. I said
No, that's what you said. That's what you said.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what you
not
said.
like I mean that's all he could do. That was his best chance. I said it before the fight. That was his best game plan was to stay on the outside and try to box. But I mean, his jab had no fucking power. I mean, nothing was landing really. And it even and I don't know, y'all could. I mean, it's a question for y'all. Do y'all think that he was throwing his punches with any real conviction?
No,
Because it,
no.
it looked like he was just trying to punch and then move immediately.
Yeah,
It didn't look
he
like
wasn't
nothing
throwing. He
or
wasn't throwing
tie
with
up
no.
immediately.
He wasn't throwing with no convictions. He was pretty much just trying to give Canelo something to look at, and so he
Trying
can
to
get out the
survive.
way. Yeah, he was just throwing something so he can get out the
Yeah,
way. He
pretty
wasn't
much.
throwing with no conviction.
hey, listen, this is what I gotta say, man. Salute to my brother Knockout coming on. What you think about the performance, man, from your Texas boy?
Hey man, so I wanted to say a couple of things, bro. On the performance, man, Jermell Charlo fought like a hoe. Straight up, bro. Like I like you ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me to believe it's lines only. You ain't gonna get me to believe that he ain't going there and just lay down, bro. He felt Canelo power in the first minute and a half in the fight, and he put his hands in his goddamn pocket, bro. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told people he was.
Mhm.
Hopefully now we can stop all this stupid shit about Tank going to welterweight to fight Bud or Bud coming up to super middleweight to fight
Yeah, I've been said that Bud versus Canelo shit like that man, that fight is
So
dead. Like I don't want to hear that shit no more.
BBO think
We need to
Bud
just
and
get
knock
it cracking
Canelo out.
between Charlo and Bud Crawford. That's the
BBO
fight
think
that's
Bud and
been
knock
that
Canelo.
we've been talking about for real.
But
I
BBO think Bud and knock Canelo out.
I
That's what
think
he think.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I know my
He
man
put
Knockout.
Bud Crawford in the fucking dirt.
Hey
Under the
BBO,
fucking dirt.
could I bring up the conversation you were just having with Crown Jewel about Tommy
Go ahead.
Hearns and stuff like that?
Go ahead.
My
Oh,
mom
what's up,
does.
Anthony? I ain't
What's
spoke
up?
to you in a minute. You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. My mom does sports legends dinner for her job to raise money for paralysis, and Tommy Hearns always comes to the events, and so did before he died. So did Muhammad Ali. These guys could barely put two words together when they were when they were doing speeches. Man,
Yep.
it was so depressing. Like I tried to talk to Tommy, and he was struggling putting two words together. Like
He's
let's
trying
be
to kill
honest, those
BBO.
guys they should have.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but let's be honest. Those guys should have quit. Like they should have retired sooner than they did. Like to protect their health in the long run, because I think Muhammad Ali's Alzheimer's was the cause of his.
Mic
his
check, mic check. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yeah,
you good.
yeah,
Oh, my
and
bad.
Muhammad Ali's Alzheimer's. They did research on his brain after he passed away. They said his Alzheimer's was caused with constant punishment to his brain from
I
getting
thought he
hit.
had Parkinson's disease.
No,
He
from
did.
Parkinson's. From
Oh,
Parkinson's is
okay.
my mistake. His
Okay.
Parkinson's
Yes.
disease was a result of constant getting hit in the head and stuff like that.
Well, Michael
Let
J.
me-
Fox never got hit in the head, and he
Can I
had
fin-
Parkinson's.
BVO and D Free? Can I finish up real quick? Cause I got to go.
Go
I wanted to say something real quick, bro. So that's on the Charlo and Canelo fight. I thought he went out like a whole sucker, bro. I heard what BVO was saying, and I agree with it 100%, bro. You can't go in there and fight like that. That's that point right there. But to the thing that y'all was talking about right before I hopped on here, and what made me actually ask to hit the link, bro. This idea, number one, that fans, just because you ain't never been in the ring or you ain't trained nobody, this idea that you don't know nothing about boxing, miss me with that, bro. My track record say otherwise. So that would be point number one. Number two, this idea that we just supposed to be quiet and fighters can just be in it for the money and they got to get their bag because it's such a dangerous sport and they don't need to care about what the fans think or putting on great fights and all that, man. Well, then let's stop calling it a sport, bro. Let's stop demanding athletes in general just go give us greatness and go give us great matchups. Nah, bro, if you want these millions of dollars that you demanded, the expectation is that you fight the best and you
No,
go in there and you put on a great performance, bro.
but he was talking about to the fact of the fans trying to give them strategy of what they should do in the ring, because when it gets to the point like when a fighter is getting beat up and there's no chance for him to win, is up to him to protect his health at that point. When like similar to what we saw with David Morrell when he was fighting that guy and he put into a coma. They should have stopped that fight a long time ago.
I agree with that.
They kept putting him out there to fight because he was still able to fight, but he ended up getting put into a coma, and that's what he was talking about. Stop listening to the fans and with this telling you what to do. Do what's best for you, because that's what we talk about with Devin Haney. Don't go out there and try to knock out this guy for the fans. You're not a knockout artist. You're a boxer. Go out there and box. That's what we love Devin Haney for, his boxing ability.
I agree.
Not a knockout artist.
I agree, but what I'm saying about Jermell is that he didn't even try, bro. Like a minute and a half into the fight, he didn't even try, bro. Like it's one thing if you like, okay, dang, like I tried first 4-5 rounds, he beating on me or whatever. But bro, you ain't finna tell me these lines only. You chasing greatness. You gonna knock this dude out. Ain't no friends. It's wartime. It's this and that. And then a minute and a half into the fight, he make you put your hands in your pocket and you take your ball and go home, bro. And he was so the happiest, bro. He the happiest loser I ever seen in my life, bro.
That's a fact.
Straight up.
But no, I feel like I really do feel like he came in trying to. I feel like he did come in trying to win that fight. The first 2 rounds, he was just trying his game plan, trying to stay on the outside. Then in the third, I saw him try to turn up his volume a little bit, but after that,
he has to stop. Y'all keep talking, huh? You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up, huh?
Man, Mel was trying.
Stop, y'all keep talking, huh? You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up.
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch. Hey! That's exactly what he is. Is a no.
That's a good one, bro. I love that drop. But y'all boy be easy, man. I'm gonna let y'all keep cooking. I gotta run. Y'all take it easy, bro.
Hey, salute, man. Salute, my brother.
Yeah, no, and BVO, I see what you're saying, that these kids shouldn't just lay down, but I see what Crown Jewel's saying. From the experience of training fighters and being a fighter himself, you have to understand that some of these guys want to protect their health in the long run. And look, like I said, with Tommy and Muhammad Ali are the perfect examples of they should have retired earlier than they are, because they can barely put 2 words together when they're doing these events and struggling to even speak or stand.
And it's not just them. James Toney, Terry Norris. There's a lot of them guys that you barely can understand what they're saying now. So they was great for our amusement, but now that they're not fighting no more, what good are they?
Yeah, no, hold on 1 second. Let me say before y'all finish. And y'all making great points. I want to say that. I salute to my man, the boxing historian, Marky Dan. And you know what? I appreciate what you're saying, Anthony, but you're talking about cats, man, who have done nothing but make millions of dollars. And Muhammad Ali never had a hard day once he became champion, ever again. He never had a hard day.
That's a lot.
Even when people talk about it being gone for 3 years, guess who was helping pay his bills? I actually been reading about this. Do you know that Don King would let Muhammad Ali come over his house? He would open up the drawer with hundreds of dollars in there and let Muhammad Ali take money out of there. So I don't want to hear this about guys who have been handsomely paid for what they do. This is what you do, man. It's like they're just like that. Hold on, I'm
talking about
when they retire. Don King.
I'm talking about when they retired. Don King knew he was going to get that money back when Muhammad Ali started fighting again. I'm talking about when they retire and they done with the sport. Nobody's looking out for those guys anymore. Those guys go out and
sign a $75 million. Didn't Ali sign a $75 million name and likeness deal before he died? Did you see that? He signed a $75 million deal in 2009 for his name and likeness. $75 million in 2009.
Yeah.
So
the way how I see it is, you get paid money from your fights. What you do with it after you're done is on you. Like, that's not on your promoter. That's not on nobody else. Unless you're talking about they're taking cuts out of your.
No, I'm not.
Unless you're talking about they're taking cuts out of your purse.
Yeah, and BVL, you bring up Don King. You bring up Don King. Don King had a history of robbing his own fighters. He stole money from his own fighters.
I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about.
BVO brought Don King up. Is what I'm saying.
You're not going to get on here. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I'm talking about when these fighters are over and done with the sport of boxing. Whatever money that they have saved up, it's all of the money that they're going to get from the sport of boxing. That's all the money they're going to get from the sport of boxing. Now, they go out there and might do some shows and sign some autographs, get some money here and there. But I'm talking about you putting on these fights for our amusement. But at the end, there's no pitching plan at the end of this. Like football, there's a pitching plan. Basketball, there's a pitching plan. Baseball, there's a pitching plan. All these other sports got pitching plans. Boxing don't have a pitching plan. So
that's true.
They putting on all this, they taking on all this beating and beating up their body like that. But at the end of the day, it's nothing after that. That's why Floyd said, I'm out here robbing y'all because Floyd know I'm not getting nothing from y'all, Bob, after the sport of boxing is over and done with. All the money I can get, I'm getting it right now.
But let me say this.
D Free, I'm gonna put that responsibility on the fighter, because you see guys like Richard Torres, they're educating themselves, they're preparing themselves for a life after boxing. Guys like Fundora and what's his name? The fighter from New York.
You know why that is? You know why that is?
Because they're smart and they have good families.
No, I'm gonna tell you why that is. Because they see our legends sitting here living like bums after they took a beating. That's why they doing that now. They said, "Hold up, damn, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest of all time. This man barely could talk. Tommy Hearns, one of the greatest of all time, barely could talk. Torrey Norris, one of the greatest, barely could talk. James Tony."
Again, so you're making my point for me. The responsibility is on the fighter.
Well, let me say,
you gotta educate yourself if you want to do better for yourself, bro.
Let me say this before y'all go. Let me say this before you go. Ant-Man, you my guy, but we never ever going to have any Don King slander on this platform. Don King has always been a great man, a great promoter.
Don King was a terrible human being.
Hold on. Don King was married 51 years, bro. We're not gonna sit here and talk about Don King as if he's not a great man. Don King can do nothing that nobody else didn't do in boxing, but because of Don King's suntan, they want to bring up what Don King did. We're not going to sit here and we're not going to sit here and slander Don King. Don King is the greatest boxing promoter ever. The greatest boxing promoter ever. There hasn't been a better boxing promoter than Don King, bro.
I'm not judging.
You know what
I'm talking about what Anthony said.
No, I'm just saying I'm not judging his boxing promotion or none of that. But the man was a crook, just like all of the other promoters are crooks.
I'll take that, but don't try to single out.
You know what I'll give him credit for, BVO? He made more black millionaires during the 80s and 70s than anybody else. I
BVO,
give him credit for that.
The reason why I said that is because out of Mike Tyson's own mouth, he actually said that he didn't get all his purses from Don King. Don King took a huge portion of his purses.
You want to know what happened to you want to know what happened to Mike Tyson, Anthony? Mike Tyson, in between fights, he would ask Don King for $200,000 for his baby mama, $200,000, and that's how it would be. And then later on, Don King called back for his money. It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is, man. And you know what I'll say?
Shit. Yes, it's a young man that he took advantage of, but shit, he took the money.
But think about this.
All these promoters are crooks. All of them are crooks. They all do it.
That's not true. That's not.
That's fucked up, though. That's a 21-year-old young man.
That's not true. Let me finish. We got great promoters like Barry Hearns. You got people like Barry Hearns. You got people like Don King.
Slave contract. Fuck out of here, my nigga.
Listen. I appreciate the racial epithets, but when we talk about Don King, he's the greatest promoter that boxing has ever seen. And this is a guy who was brought into the sport by Muhammad Ali. Same thing with Bob Arum.
You know what?
Hold on.
I have to agree with you.
Let me finish. People do not realize how many fights Muhammad Ali actually did. Muhammad Ali pretty much was a promoter himself. So I don't want to hear this crap. And Muhammad Ali did some dirty stuff. You realize he got $8 million to fight Larry Holmes. He got $8 million and Larry Holmes got $1 million. And this is in 1981.
He was supposed to.
But listen, We don't talk about the dirty stuff Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad
That
Ali
wasn't dirty.
No,
that wasn't dirty.
I'm talking about business wise.
That wasn't dirty. That was business wise.
He told George Foreman, "Hey, George Foreman, if you want to fight me again, go beat Ken Norton and knock him out. And if you can do that, because I can't do it."
So,
but listen, that's what I'm saying. You can't blame Don King for that. What about Muhammad Ali putting people in these breaks?
Yeah. BBO, listen. I agree with you. I agree with you. Don King is the greatest promoter. Well, no, I got to give it to Bob Arum. He's been doing it for like 70 years now. So no. Hold on, my nigga. Bob Arum has been doing it longer. Don King is.
Hold on, man. You can't say that, bro. Only reason I said you can't say that.
Oh, my bad, brother. My bad. I didn't know that.
No, this is what I'm saying. Don King is the greatest promoter that we ever seen. But finish what you got to say, bro. But Don King is the greatest promoter that we've seen, bro. These three will attest to that. And Anthony, if you think about it, you'll attest to that. And I'm gonna ask.
I'm too young to see Don King. I'm in my 30s, so I'm too young.
Can I finish what I was saying, my nigga?
Go finish. My bad. Go
finish. Yeah, okay. I'm saying Bob Arum has lasted longer. He is the lone man on the hill. Don King is dead and gone. But listen,
no, he's not
I will
dead,
give
bro.
him one. Okay, BBO. Okay, can I speak? You're a dictator.
Ahead,
you fucking editing my speech.
Go ahead,
yeah.
man. Go ahead.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah. What the fuck was I saying? Damn, BBO. Don King. Yeah. Yeah, Don King. He's the greatest promoter of all time too. I could give him that. I could give him that distinction as well. He put together some of the just craziest fights. Leonard versus Duran, motherfucking Ali versus Frazier, all three super fights. Just some crazy shit. That dude was.
You guys talk about Marky Dan.
You guys George Foreman and
let me read these comments before. Let me read these comments after Marky Dan get down to read these comments. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he brought George Foreman and Muhammad Ali to the Rumble in the jungle. Got a dictator to pay for the fights purses. You gotta put him up there with them guys for sure.
You guys forget one guy.
He is the guy. He is
Hold on 1 second.
Guy.
Let me read these comments real quick. My man Clarence, that's a TWC family right there. My man said facts. Josh said facts. He said Bentley, my brother back in the chat said BBO. He said truck driver beats up your body. Some companies have pensions, not at all. You got to create your own pension plan, and that's a fact. And that's coming from Picasso. My man, the Boston College said facts. He said he gave us the best fights ever. He said Bentley said Bob Arum. No, Bob Arum is not half promoted that Don King was. He said Mike Tyson also was robbed by Bill Caton, and Shelly Finkel. Yeah, Shelly Finkel did a lot of robbing, but they don't bring up him. He said, shaking my head. He said, son, it's under Bob. How's that dirty? Well, it's dirty because Muhammad Ali was a promoter, but nobody talks about the dirty stuff he did where he made sure he got bigger cuts. And Marky Dan can attest to this. Am I lying when I tell you?
He's supposed to get the bigger cut.
Every fight.
He's the draw.
Talking about every fight.
He's the draw. He's the draw.
You think 2 billion people are watching? What do you think 2 billion people will show up for? What are you talking about, BBO?
It would be Muhammad, not Larry Holmes.
Nobody is an A side to Muhammad Ali. He is him. What the fuck are you talking about, BBO?
He picked the gloves.
So that's why he got the bigger cut. That's why he got the bigger cut.
He got to pick the. He's Muhammad Ali.
That's why he's the A side. He's the A side. That's what they do when you're the A side.
The only guy that can maybe be the A side to him was Joe Frazier. Maybe Joe would be the only guy that maybe.
At that time when Joe was the champion, yes, and Muhammad was coming back, yeah. Joe had the leverage at that time. They had equal. Well, I don't know that he was necessarily. It was probably like 50-50.
No, he got
because Joe had the leverage as champion.
Ali got 70-30. Ali got 70-30 for that fight. Ali got 70-30.
I'm gonna have to check on that, but
hey, BBO, I want to bring up the. You said Boo Boo.
Hold on one
You
second.
said
Let me read these comments before you go. He said, shaking my head. He said, son is under Bob. How's that dirty? He said, how many people give rematch? He said, BBO football player. Make it whatever. This is something crazy. He said, I was probably the biggest promoter, but not sure about the greatest part. He said, salute. He said, ain't no one to see Otis, Larry Owens. He said, ain't no one here to see Otis. He said, no one's bigger than Ali. I get no one's bigger than Ali, but what I'm saying is this, and I'm gonna go to our next topic after this. People don't want to be honest. And Free, you'll be honest in this. Let's not act like that. Let's not act like when you're the A side, you make the rules. A lot of these fights, Ken Norton got killed.
You do.
He makes the rules, but this is what I'm saying. Ken Norton got robbed, dog, 2 times, and no one even talks about it because it was Muhammad Ali, bro. So what I'm saying is, you can't say that. You can't call Don King dirty when you see that the A side is always getting help from all angles.
We're not talking about Don King for those fights. We're not talking about Don King for those fights. I said
but
Don
hold
King
on, but
was
BB,
a crook. He was.
BBO, you understand Muhammad Ali is stepping in the ring and accepting great risk for this money. You understand that Don King is sitting on his fat ass at a ringside in an air-conditioned
I would take
seat.
but BBO.
Do you see the difference in these two dynamics?
Consideration what you talking about with Don.
Go ahead.
I would take consideration what you're saying about Don King if it was only one fighter saying this. But there have been multiple fighters saying Don King was a crook. Not just one. There's been multiple fighters saying this. Damn near the whole roster. They said Don King was a crook.
Hey, but we running out of time, man. The thing I'm gonna ask the panel one last question, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna be here Wednesday, right? We got our football show tomorrow, right? Free?
Yeah.
So and we're gonna say go Browns, salute to the Commanders, and them Eagles, man, they stole one. But
I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm not.
Man, they never had a chance, bro.
Hold on, let me be able to
I know Marky Dan was sitting there sweating. Marky Dan was sweating.
Let me end with this final thing. I'll say this. At the end of the day, when people are throwing crazy stuff about these fighters, who's great, who's not, Jermell Charlo went in there and he had an awful performance, almost a cowardice performance. I don't want to see nothing like that again. I could be wrong. I get what my man Crown is saying. He makes great points. But dude, we don't pay you to run. And I'm gonna let my man Marky go, then I'm gonna let Free finish the show off for us. Go ahead, Marky.
Yeah, bro. Really disappointed by that fight. But hopefully he could come back at 154. We get the Jermell Charlo, Bud Crawford fight, and everybody will be happy and shut the fuck up. But listen, the kid I wanted to talk about quick was Jermell Moulton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man, he's special. Listen, I want to see him in, and I don't care what y'all say. I want to see him in maybe 3 or 4 years against Inui. If they could build that kid up correctly, he's at 126.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Listen. This kid is special. I want to see that fight. Whether it's at 126, 130, it's got to happen before Inui retire. But that's all I got, bro.
Salute to my man, the boxing historian, Marky Dan, man. Go ahead, D3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the fight didn't play out the way a lot of people expected to, and it wasn't the performance that people wanted. I mean, it was still a fight that a lot of people was going to talk about for a while because people want to still talk about this fight for a while. My main question is, what's next for Canelo? Is he going to fight David Benavidez, the winner of David Benavidez and Boo Boo, or is Bud Crawford going to jump up to 68 and fight? So that's next on the horizon. We're gonna see what happens.
Hey, so I asked this man to come in. Give us your final thought on this conversation, Boxing Scott. I always like how you talk, man. You're a good brother. Go ahead, give us your final thoughts on that performance.
Hey, first I gotta say that I'm gonna keep it short, man. I know you want to try and get out of here. I don't fuck with a lot of boxing channels, man. Y'all got some good ass chemistry over here. Y'all done made me face palm, cheer, agree, all that shit, man. But I just wanted to say, man, I agree 100% with you, bro. I felt like Mel knew he was gonna lose the fight, and he still signed the contract anyway. And he sold it to us because he had every intention on doing exactly. He said the silent part out loud after the fight. I ain't get knocked out like the rest of them. So that was your intention. You know, coach said the sweet science is hit and don't get hit, right? And that's true.
Correct.
But go in the fight and show me where he did the hitting part. He did all the missing part. He never, even when he consistently landed the left hook, but because he wouldn't commit and sit down on the left hook, he didn't make Canelo respect him. Canelo just walked him down all night. He just clinched. I felt like that was like, bro. They think it's blasphemous to say cowardice performance, bro. But man, we got to call it like we see it, man. Shit, Coach earlier was like, you know, these fighters at the end of the day, you know, they don't make as much. But look, bro, I survived off $8.50 a fucking hour, and I was still buying boxing pay-per-views, and I ain't have no health insurance, bro. Wasn't nobody there to talk about me and cape for me and do all that other shit. It's a risk hazard. They compensated for their risk, man. That man made the most money of his entire career, bro, and he didn't even. It don't look. I didn't want to see Mel die, right? Nobody want to see a body in the ring, but what he could control is his effort. He didn't even try, and it was apparent from the opening bell. He didn't even throw one punch to open it the whole first round. Like, man, it was like it was kind of hard to watch. We all knew he would lose, but goddamn, we want to still see you try. Say what you want about Errol Spence. Errol Spence took his ass whooping like a man. And ain't nobody talking about, look, Errol Spence trying to get a rematch. Nobody, now you want to talk about bodies. Nobody want to see that shit. I definitely don't want to see that shit. But that now that's dangerous. Mel went in the fight and left the fight the same way, looking the exact same way. He didn't take a ton of punishment or anything, man. So worried about Mel's health, what the fuck are we talking about, man? He had probably one war to date, and that was probably the Castano fight. And Castano's a smaller fighter than him, and he really didn't fuck Mel up like that. So why are we worried about Mel health? We could be worried about Spence health. Mel, he okay. That motherfucker robbed the ATM today.
Hey, you spoke number facts, man. It's your boy BBO. It's your boy D3. This the Roll with the Punches podcast, man. The best new podcast of 2023. Salute to my guy, the boxing scholar, coming through. Salute to my man Crown Jewel coming through. Salute to my man Knockout, our local historian, my man Marky Dan, of course, my man Ant-Man. And we gone. Peace.